Well, thanks for everyone for coming today. I appreciate it. My name's Patrick Mack, and we just talked about it. I've known Lauren probably longer than the 7 years, but have been working, have known her for 7 years, and she's always been a thought leader in the healthcare, practice management space. And there is text on here that I'm supposed to be reading as well, but so let me jump into that to get more detail about. So she founded her consulting business in 2020 and has helped over 100 clients nationwide optimize their financial health, staff engagement, and patient experience. A leadership enthusiast, combines practical strategies with a passion for teaching and mentoring. Lauren holds the FAC MPE certification and is a certified professional compliance officer. And the last thing I will say is I have sat in on multiple presentations, and I was excited to have you back to share your experience and expertise with the group. So
thank you.
Give a warm welcome to Lauren.
Okay. So this is going to be an interactive presentation. And so I feel weird being up on this fancy stage. I think I'm just going to hang out down here for now. And like I mentioned, if you're in the back of the room right now, don't get too cozy, because about halfway through, I'm going to invite you to do some moving around, and we're gonna switch things up just a little bit, because I have to keep you awake after lunch, okay? And by the way, there is coffee in the hallway, so if you feel yourself getting a little bit, fatigued, we can do that. So we're here to talk about networking. Does that word freak everybody out just a little bit? Yeah, we'll talk about why that is. But as Patrick said, this is me. So I worked as a practice administrator for 25 or so years before becoming a consultant. And I wanted to be a consultant when I grew up, because what I thought that meant was helping practices be successful. And I knew, as a sole leader in a lot of these groups, that it's an extremely lonely job, and you're one of a kind, and many of you are probably in that role too, where you're one of a kind in your organization, or maybe there's a couple in your peer group, but it's kind of tricky to do what we do. So yes, July of 2020, anybody remember 2020? Yeah, great time to start a business, I'm telling you. And I'm not saying that facetiously. It actually was a great time to start a business, because a lot of practices really needed help. And I got to do some really interesting and fun things. So we'll talk just a little bit about that. But one of the fun things that I get to do is teaching and education and creating things like this. So I have objectives, because I consider myself a teacher, and I want you to come out of here knowing something that you didn't know when you came in. So our objectives today are, we're going to talk about what networking is and what it isn't. So it's a little bit less of a scary word when you walk out of here. We're also going to talk about the benefits of developing a professional network and how you can create and maintain one. We're also going to talk about at least one new source for your own professional development and growth. I just gave one away to my new friends here at Salem Health, because I can't help it. I'm like fountain of people and things that I love to follow. So we'll talk about what I shared a minute ago too. And then I want you to walk out of here with maybe 3 or 4 new connections that you can reach out to for personal and professional support. Does anybody feel like you need some support sometimes? Yeah, right? This job is hard. Healthcare is hard. Anybody else wake up this morning going, holy cow, they did it. Now what do we do? Yeah, a lot of stuff going in our minds right now. A lot of things that we want to plan A, plan B, plan C for. So it'd be good to have friends who know what you're going through. So I'm just going to ask this quickly. Who likes to network? Not a single, okay, couple hands. Come on, my extrovert friends. I know you do. Okay. There's a few of you that are like, that feels weird. I don't know what that word means. What I know about it, I don't like. So let's talk about that. Networking is not meeting people just to get something from them. That's sales. I'm just going to say it. Not that there's anything wrong with sales, but sales is different. That's bad sales, yes. That is not relationship building. It's not networking. It's different, okay? It's also not building a database of people who might benefit from what you have to offer. Again, more sales focused, not networking. It's not passive. It's not sitting back and waiting for someone to network with you. That's not how this works, okay? And it's not about quantity. I know we've got those Instagram accounts that we follow, maybe those TikTok creators, and we think, how did they get 1,000,002 followers, right? That's not what this is about. Here's what it is about. It's about mutual give and take with an emphasis on give. Let that sink in for a second. Networking is not about what can I get from you. It's about what can I give to you. We're going to practice this today. It's also building a community of people who strengthen one another. So we can lift each other up. We can support one another. We can reach out and say, did you read that latest piece of news? Or what's your plan B or plan C to deal with what's happening in the world right now? It is active. It requires participation. So we're going to talk about that and how to do it. It's also intentional. So that means you have to make an effort. Hopefully you don't come out of here feeling like, oh my gosh, it's just one more thing I need to add to my plate, but you're truly excited about it. Anybody disagree with what I've said so far? I'm okay with that. You can tell me. Okay. So why is it helpful to even build a professional network? Why do we care? Why don't we just go in, do our jobs, hit our deliverables, move up the ladder? Why does it matter? Well, building your professional network can actually strengthen your own skill set, improve your own work performance, and make you feel more engaged. Who else has read the data lately about employee engagement? It's not looking good, folks. Yeah, we got a lot of folks who are employed who are not engaged. They don't want to come to work. They're not experiencing excitement. If that's you, we can talk. There are ways to help you get more engaged in the work that you're doing, but one of the things is by building a professional network. You can also be of service to someone else. You can be a resource for someone else. Let me tell you a little secret. When you help someone else, it helps you, right? You're in healthcare for a reason. Probably because it's a giving, caretaking sort of industry. You could be doing finance in any industry, but for some reason you chose healthcare. So think about that for just a moment and how giving to someone else fills your cup. Being a resource to someone else, even if what you get out of it is being told, man, you're super smart. That's okay, right? You deserve that validation. You deserve to hear that. And it also can improve your own mental health and work-life balance. So these are reasons why I think it's important to build and maintain your own professional network. So I'm going to tell you a brief story. Back in March of 2020, remember those days, I was the interim practice administrator for a large pediatric group in Portland. Anybody ever been an interim anything? Yeah. How was that? Is it hard? Yeah, it's hard because you don't know anything. So they bring you in and they say, come and run this place until someone else comes and takes your seat. Or maybe you're recruiting for that person like I was. So March of 2020, I'm in peds. I'm not an expert in peds. I've worked a lot of other specialties. This was a new thing to me. I was feeling stressed. I didn't know what to do. Lots of questions. They were really good at giving flu vaccines, but what are we going to do with this COVID vaccine thing? How are we going to develop workflows? How do we keep our people and our patients safe? So many questions. But what I didn't have in pediatric administration knowledge, I had in network. I had friends. So I knew a guy who ran a pediatric practice in Idaho. I knew another guy who ran a pediatric practice in Montana. And I had another friend who was in Washington. So I said, we should all get together and chat. Because you remember these days, we were kind of watching the wave and where was the illness and what were we going to do and where do we get PPE and just all that chaos and that stress every morning. So I said, let's schedule a Zoom call. Let's just talk about this because I need my friends right now. I need to have some support. So the four of us got together on a Zoom call and we started talking about strategies and what was working for them and what they were seeing and what we were seeing in Portland versus what was happening in Boise and all of these different areas. We created such a connection with one another that group, my friend group, we still meet every month, 5 years later. That's amazing. My friend Danny in the group sent us all thank you notes that said, "You're the bomb," and "Bombas socks." That was pretty cool. Danny's funny like that. I had another friend in the group who was really struggling with his mental health partway through and was like, "I need a therapist. I need to find some help. I can't seem to find it. What are we going to do?" We helped him get some help. I also sent him a spirograph. Anybody remember those? How cool is that thing? You can still get them on Amazon. Did you know that? And you can have it drop shipped to your friend's house in Boise, Idaho. So I said, you know what? Even if Jesse doesn't love this, Jesse's got kids. He can give it to his kids. They'll play with it. Jesse loved it. It was amazing. So I asked them, why do y'all keep coming to these meetings every month? This is what they told me. This meeting refills my tank when lots of my other work and meetings drain it. Wouldn't you like a meeting that filled your tank instead of, another meeting? Another person said, it's the highlight of my month. And then another person said, you get it. That stuck with me. It is so important to have a connection, to have a networking group, to have a friend group who gets it. Your spouse, your family, they're probably not going to get it in the same way that your professional network will. So this session that I've created came about because I wanted to share some things that I've learned about networking and about building relationships and what has worked for me. So here we go. Where can you develop your professional network? Who's my LinkedIn buddies in town or in the room here? Everybody? Okay, you got a LinkedIn profile, everybody? Okay, fantastic. When was the last time you updated it? Yeah. Years ago? A few years ago. Your headshot's still from 2019, maybe, yeah. So I am a big believer in LinkedIn. Yes, there is stuff on there that maybe is too salesy or too politically focused or too whatever, but there's a lot of valuable content out there as well. And there's opportunities there to link up with interesting authors, to learn what other people are saying in our industry, to grow and share. It's a professional network, but also a social media resource that's actually doing some good in a lot of ways. If any of you are looking for work, I won't make you raise your hand because maybe your boss is right next to you. You can put a little circle around your face that says open to work. I will tell you, I do recruiting. That stuff matters. People look for that. Headhunters look for that. So it's not a shameful thing to say you're open to work if you want to do that. It's also a really great place to just discover other content creators, other authors. One of the tricks that I use is I'll read something in HBR. Anybody HBR fans? Harvard Business Review? Yeah, great articles in there. Here's my little pro tip. I'll be like, who's that? They wrote something cool. I look them up on LinkedIn. I start following them. Now I get to see more of their insights, more things they share. I also post a lot of things on there too that I want other people to know about. So recently I did a session called Recession Proofing Your Practice. And I thought, man, there's some tips in here that people need to be reading. So I just put it out there. We'll see. If people take from it, great. Let's talk about Facebook groups too. And Facebook groups are different than Facebook pages. Does anybody know the difference? No social media gurus in the room here? Okay. Go ahead. Not Facebook. I know, you're like, Facebook was so 1990. Okay, so Facebook, yes, it's a little outdated in a lot of ways. However, it can be an amazing tool. So Facebook pages are kind of the new yellow pages. I know I'm dating myself. What's a yellow pages? Anyway, Facebook pages are a landing place where your business might just have something that says, you know, Dr. Smith's practice, Salem Health, whatever it is, where people can go and get information. Facebook groups are typically closed to a set group of people who want to participate, and you can create all kinds of content and interesting things for people to interact about. I know people who have like dog agility Facebook pages, or groups rather. They have all kinds of things they're interested in. Pediatric practice administrators, whatever it is. Patient account specialists. You can create or find amazing groups where your peers are already showing up. There's a credentialing and contracting group. There's groups for everything. If you go in Facebook and you don't see one that you like, make one. Start inviting people. Start having conversations. Build your own network. Remember how I said this was active and not passive? You get to create some of this if it doesn't already exist. Or show up and add comment, add questions, start conversing about things that are in these groups. So that's another resource you can look at. Also, where can you develop and maintain your professional network? Well, professional associations like this. I was on your website yesterday. You got a lot of committees, you got a lot of senior leaders, you got a lot of people showing up for this organization. That's super cool to see. Volunteer for committees, for boards. Join up with others. I have learned so much over the years by connecting with other professionals in that capacity. I've served on what formerly was called the Oregon MGMA. It's now called the Oregon Healthcare Leaders Association. Served on that board for years. I now serve on the Washington HLA board. And I not only call those people my peer group of experts, but they're true friends. Who could use a couple more friends right now? I know I could, right? Community building is real. But also seek out some less obvious connections. So maybe you're in healthcare finance, but you're also interested in a different industry in healthcare. Maybe you want to be a tech developer, or you want to learn about AI or something like that. Look for other associations that resonate with you and join up with them. Patrick and I were just talking about how could HFMA and Oregon HLA come together? How could we partner more effectively with one another? So there's opportunities to volunteer and join up and meet others with other connections. All you have to do is look. This one, Meet Your Neighbors, came up because during a different interim position that I was serving, I know I'm kind of a glutton for punishment, I do this as a job. I showed up one day and we were getting ready to do our fire drill. And I said, awesome. What do we tell the neighbors? Because we're in a medical office building on the campus of someone else. And they said, oh, we don't talk to the neighbors. I said, what do you mean we don't talk to our neighbors? We just pull the fire alarm and wait to see what they do too? And this group was like, yeah, kinda. Okay, we can do better. So they didn't even know their neighbors. There had been a newer practice that had opened up down the hallway and they had never met each other. That made my jaw drop. Like, how could this be? You're riding up in the elevator, you're walking the stairs, you're doing fire drills, and you don't even know those people? So make sure, if you have that opportunity, that you know your neighbors, whatever your businesses are. If you're in an MOB, or maybe you're out in the world and you're in a strip mall or something, whatever. Get to know your neighbors, especially right now when safety is such a concern, folks. We need to be ready to support each other and take care of each other if some safety concern comes up. Not just a fire drill, but right, we have all kinds of things happening. Also, join a networking cohort or start your own. So remember my story. I knew I needed help. I just created my own little networking cohort and said, does anybody want to come and hang out with me? And thankfully they said yes, and we've kept it going. So be thinking right now about like, who else is in your circle? Who else do you know in your community that maybe isn't somebody you work with every day, but you'd like to get to know them better, or you could invite them in to be part of a cohort, and what would that look like? All it takes, my friends, is somebody to take the lead. Somebody just has to schedule the Zoom meetings or Teams or whatever works for you. All right, so considering how you can continue to do this, you're going to connect with a purpose. You are going to show up with, what can I give? What can I learn? What do other people need to know? And don't fear competition. There are plenty of patients to go around. Am I right? Most places have long lists of people who want to come in and be seen and be taken care of. So just because you're a pediatric practice in Portland, Oregon, doesn't mean you shouldn't talk to the pediatric practice across town or health system or whoever. We should not be fearing each other. We should be lifting each other up and supporting each other. And get personal. It was so fun. We were just talking about this and some of the cool stuff that they're doing at Salem Health to get to know their team better and talk about those personal interests. I loved the picture of your dog. Do y'all remember before COVID where if the dog or the cat came into the Zoom call, we were like super embarrassed? Or the little kid, if somebody was like, Mommy, oh my gosh, what do we do now? Hey, meet my dog, right? And people are like, oh my gosh, where's the dog? I want to see the dog, or a kid or whatever. It's a different world now, folks. We realized that we are all human, and humans can be fun. We can have cool hobbies. We can have really cool kids, fur babies or human babies, whatever. Get to know each other. Talk about your personal interests. You might discover something about someone that you had no idea, like they do pro wrestling in their spare time or something. I mean, all kinds of things can come out of this. Here's the key. Schedule those consistent check-ins. So what worked for us was to make sure that we had a Tuesday afternoon blocked once a month, and everybody knew that's when we were going to get together. We held that time. We made it sacred. So people would cancel meetings to show up for that one. And then this is one of my very favorite questions. Here's another tip. I use this for huddles always. What's going well? So you know what we do in healthcare? We diagnose problems. So you know what people get used to doing? The copier's broken. I can't get into Availity. This is happening. I need toner. Like all the broken things they bring to us. Do people bring to us what's going well very often? No. What if we created a habit of starting our meetings, starting our huddles, starting our Teams chats, whatever it is? Hey, good morning, everybody. What's going well? Life-changing. I'm telling you. I've done this because I've served in a lot of practices as interim administrator and as a full-time job. And that changes the whole tenor of the team meeting. Otherwise, people have got their complaint list. They're ready to like unscroll, you know. I got 25 things that are broken and not going well and all the things I need you to fix for me. What if we start with what's going well? Force people to think for just a moment about what's positive. You can use that technique with your group too. Boy, it was hard in the beginning, that March, April, May meeting when we got together. What's going well? I'm still here. I don't know. We're still seeing patients, right? We're still taking care of people. That's what's going well. Also, you can dive into the challenges, of course. Where are you stuck? How can you help each other? And then ask each other, what are your long-term goals? I found out with one of the people in my group that she was really wanting to retire, and this was pushing her out the door, as you can imagine. We held on to her a little bit longer, but helping her understand how to make that transition smoothly for herself and to be a support system for her was huge. And then asking, how can I help? How can I help? If you think of networking as how can I help, not what can I get, it totally shifts the paradigm, doesn't it? So when you think about meeting new people, maybe tonight you're going to go to the gala, you're going to hang out a little bit, maybe have a cocktail, you're going to walk up to somebody, you could say to them, hey, I'm Lauren Harris. I own a company called Harris Healthcare Consulting. How can I help? What challenges are you facing? Might sound a little salesy, but not if I truly mean it, right? What if I can give you a resource or something right in that moment to take back? What if you all can do that with each other? Okay. Did you know this? All friends begin as strangers. Oh, I missed there's a little pop-up that says #PandaWisdom, because I loved it. So when I was putting this presentation together, I swear to you, I got that in a fortune cookie from Panda Express. And it is absolutely true. If you think about your friends right now, they were strangers at some point. You didn't know them. You had to be brave and get to know them, right? So we're going to do a little exercise. This is the small group part. Okay, so I haven't taken like an actual head count here, but what we're going to do is break into maybe 3 small groups. So let's just count off because this will be easy. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, etc. So
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
Man on the white hat, 3. Okay, remember your number because I have no idea what you all just said. Okay, so what we're going to do, our ones, you're going to pick up your things and move up here. I know, this is the interactive part. Go get the coffee if you need to. No sleeping. All my ones, right up here. All my 2s, right over here. And then let's put our 3s right here. So you still get to be kind of in the back, but just not completely in the back. All right, come on and get settled. Oh, I love what you did here. Yes, turn your chairs around so you can talk with each other. That's perfect. All right. These my twosies? Okay, we're just going to hold on to that for just a moment.
Is this the twos?
Onesies, hold on to that for just a moment. My 3Bs over here. All right, just hold on to that for a moment. Okay. Perfect. Everybody found a group. You passed the first test already. Nicely done. Okay, this is the interactive part of the show. So if you don't know each other yet, which I'm hoping you're not all friends already, which is why I mixed you up. Awesome. We're going to get to know each other. So the first thing I want you to do is to introduce yourself. This table already did all that, I think. Tell everybody your name, where you work, maybe just one little fun fact about yourself so you get to know each other briefly. And then I'm going to invite you to share the best piece of advice that you've ever gotten from a therapist, a coach, a friend, a business connection, whatever it is. So be thinking about what that might be. It could be something simple. It could be something earth-shattering. Be prepared to do that, okay? Ready, set, go.
I'm Ryan. Nice to meet you, Eric.
So I'll go, if you don't mind.
Sure. Okay, so I live in North Carolina. Interesting fact. When COVID hit, I sold my house. About 20 years. Yeah. Family in North Carolina. I'm trying to be company for 2 years. To the best place to live. And we sold Asheville, North Carolina. We went to Asheville. Asheville was great. Lived in Portland for about 2 months. I'm on the record cycle. Dog best piece of advice that I've got is you can create your own mind. The harder you work, I rely on less passion. I have to focus on what I can remain positive.
Brian Nash.
I learned that from a mentor. So what if it can hurt negative thought?
A reporter asked him,
It's too much to handle. There's all these different issues that are happening with it. But what if it works out and we succeed in this? So I can kind of get that dialogue going.
and I realized
That's all I got.
I'll go next. So, I'm Brianna, and I am in Astoria, so I'm a HR manager.
One line and one line, about 5 years. You can choose whatever it is, but kind of just stay your ground.
I also started during COVID, this was a really weird time. Like, am I gonna get a job? And I'm like,
Tell me this.
perception of reality, it was like April 2020.
Oh, it's just whatever one you want, you know, everybody's trying to have.
For advice, so right now, I'm new to this, we're doing this like deal.
Spin your reality. Exactly. So that's kind of like, you just stay your ground, no matter what. Yes.
I'll read anything, but that's probably my favorite. Yeah.
join that group if you want to.
You work in a network, you got 3 kids, you got all the things. So I show up for myself at 3:30 in the morning, but that's when I get the time to do it, right? So it wasn't for me. So now I'm a revenue integrity supervisor. You know Michelle Roberts? She's my one-up. So I supervise the nurse auditor team and the team of charge capture specialists at Salem Health. COVID, I have rheumatoid arthritis. So I have RA, and in the beginning of COVID, I was on the graveyard on the clinical floor, and I was a COVID unit. And I was a single mom to twins back then. My risk of death was too high, so I had to take a medical transfer out of the clinical world. I became a nurse auditor just by accident, didn't know anything about this stuff.
I'm Eric.
And COVID's changed so much, I don't think we'll ever just like healthcare just in general. I mean, it was always rough. I assaulted more than some of my friends were police officers. Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. I've been punched, kicked, bit on, stomped on, had my hair pulled. Because you have demented patients, you have confused patients, combative patients who are scared. You're the one getting it. But COVID changed. People don't view you as they used to. You became the enemy in healthcare. I changed before I left the hospital, but I had people follow me out of the grocery store and like spit on me. In the beginning of COVID, how dare you contaminate our communities? And yeah. Because I was in scrub, and I clearly was a healthcare worker. So everything's just changed. It's kind of. It's rough. Their mental health is depleted exponentially. They're discouraged. There's no, I mean, we've lost so much. All of our new grad nurses that came into the nursing field when this all happened have left. Right? You're a new grad and you come into nursing in the middle of a pandemic and you're plus we were already facing most of our population is retiring out. So all of my clinical colleagues reach out to me all the time. Do you have another remote position yet? They're burning. They're they're trying to do more of that.
We moved on to photos. I love it.
No, I don't care.
Have you all had a chance to go? Okay.
Demanding.
Have you all had a chance to go? Okay. Have you all gone through yours? Oh, your turn.
What?
Did you get a chance to go?
No, not yet, but I don't have to.
Oh, okay. Keep going. Let me know when you're done.
They have a different expectation of what you should get from the healthcare system after seeing COVID. We became the because they
Oh, that's awesome. That's a really
that
good
and how
one.
they view us.
Yeah, let's do it in slideshow. You do definitely go all out.
Oh, for sure. They're gonna hang me. Right? Exactly.
People will cheer out.
Like, oh, by the way, you're my friend for 5 minutes. When you bring them morphine, they really like you.
All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and bring it back around. So this group's already moving on to like showing pictures on their phones, and I can see we've got connection happening here. I love it. I've lost them completely. That's okay.
Give them the quiet coyote or whatever.
Oh yeah. What? How did the kindergarten teachers do it? I don't know.
Quiet coyote.
Quiet coyote. Okay. All right. I'm going to jump back here, and we're going to keep going. So, anyone want to share the best piece of advice that you've gotten, or something that resonated at your table? Maybe it wasn't yours, but something someone said.
I'll go.
You want to go, Patrick? Okay.
I had multiple pieces of advice, but Melissa's advice was be a goldfish.
Be a goldfish. Say more about that. Short memory?
Yeah.
I thought,
In a world of sharks, yes, thank you.
awesome.
Will, right? Yeah. Talent always no. Hard work supersedes talent, but you can say it.
I said hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That is good. Cool.
Baseball coach.
Okay. Awesome. I love it. Anyone else from this group? Okay. How about you guys?
So
They suddenly got really quiet.
Two ears, one mouth, so do more listening than talking.
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to share one with you that I think really works well, which is a single word. So if you hear nothing else out of this conference in this today, yesterday, tomorrow, hear this word. Nevertheless. Let me show you how to use it. Today is your last day. Here's your final paycheck. But nevertheless, today is your last day. Right? But I try to show up to work on time. I have all these things, blah, 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 blah. Nevertheless, your start time is 8:30. Nevertheless. Anybody else just like jaw drop on that one? Yeah. That one came from a therapist friend 7 years ago, and I still use it because it's amazing. Nevertheless. Nevertheless. I'm sorry that you have trouble getting here on time. Nevertheless, your start time is 8:30. Think how many ways you can use that. That's good. Yeah. Okay, so thank you for being brave and getting to know each other just a little bit. Now we're going to use the worksheet that I left at your desk. So what I'd like for you to do with this one is to write your favorite resource for professional development and growth. And you may be thinking, well, I don't know. I haven't read any books lately, or I don't listen to any podcasts, or I'm not sure. That's okay. I bet other people in your group have ideas. So I'm going to share the one that I shared with the Salem Health friends earlier. Anybody else know who Joe Mull is? M-U-L-L? J-O-E-M-U-L-L. No?
I do now.
Take this one home, folks. Joe Mull is who I want to be when I grow up. He is incredible. He is a writer. He is a podcaster. He wrote an amazing book called Employalty. Yes, it's a made-up word. Don't hold that against him. Go out and get that book. Also, listen to his podcast called Boss Better Now. If you are a boss, you lead teams, even if it's a team of one, I guarantee you will get something out of this podcast. So there's your first starter for this afternoon. Joe Mull, Boss Better Now. So what you're going to do with your worksheet is start taking notes in the bottom of your favorite resource, and then at the top, you're going to put your contact information for each of you on the worksheet. And why are we doing this? Because you're going to take out your cell phone and you're going to take a picture of this worksheet. It's not so I can sell you something, I promise. I'm not collecting your information for that reason. It's for you at your table. You will now have a networking cohort. Now, the action item here, I don't know if you heard me drop this earlier, but what do you have to do? Somebody has to do something with this information. You got to take the lead. You got to schedule your next check-in. You got to be active, right? You got to follow up next week, next month, whatever it is, with your networking cohort. Okay, go ahead and start filling in your favorite resource for professional development and growth. Oh, in the notes section. Thank you. That's what the notes section's for. I should have written resources. I can take that around. Thanks.
Yeah, they're doing
since he's recording
group sessions like that, just so we can get in the live.
Got it. Thank you.
We can talk. We can talk. I know a lot about it. It is fascinating stuff. I actually was interviewed for your benefits too. My email says RX.
You can also just pull out your phones and share contact if that's easier. Just airdrop to each other if you want.
So that's like the close up of this one. And then like this is the follow up. Check this out. Hope this will work. This is actually pretty cool. Let's see if this will work. Do you mind? Test this guy out. I can hold this in your thumb. Yep. Get it with your face. Did it go? Do it? Yeah, that's it. It wants you. You fill out yours, then you get mine. Yeah, let's see if it goes. Pretty cool. It may not work. This is a Samsung, isn't it? This is the folding phone?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. You can do this, so you can scan. That is awesome. It should look the contacts, but I honestly am not gonna put processing. Right now. One they like. There you go. Yeah, let's see that. Let's wait. Let's see if the magic wand works. So I gotta lose this. Last one. Like you as awesome negotiators. What's your favorite history book right now?
So right now,
Right in place one time? Get something to work and just the different kind of tactics you use to roll. That sounds cool. My daughter got really into like teen murder mystery books for a while. She read One of Us is Lying. Yeah, and it's like the same author.
Yes, I'm nodding my head yes.
The accent?
The other one I just recently finished was No Robin. She's got a great section on these.
like no more.
Well, we've done something like that. How could we?
So then we put like what subdivisions, suggest, or
Favorite educational resource.
I just got done reading Chris Voss's Nurse the Really Friends. I would say he's super famous. He's a former FBI hostage negotiator, and now he has this book and apply that to some regular, everyday negotiation numbers for business and like how it's really interesting. I would recommend it. Guys, are interested. And like the stories he tells, like relates it to serious business, parasites.
So the motion is that you have to count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you.
But then he also shares like these fun websites that you just didn't know existed. And it was like around Christmas time, and he was like, if you don't know what to get people, like, go to this website and click on the gifts, and just like little fun things like that. So it's not always right.
Relevant, it's better than the original second.
Right.
Somebody just put it by saying really it doesn't matter.
Okay, we had a few minutes to talk about these. I love it when I can't get you back because that means you're having great conversations. All right, so the gentleman in the back reminded me that we're recording and they need to hear you. So we have a microphone. So what I'd like to do is invite somebody from your table to share one of your tips, tricks, tools, ideas, resources. Do you have one on your list you want to share? You got really quiet all of a sudden.
I'm sorry. Seriously chatting it up the whole time.
Wait, Say more.
Oh, this one is kind of, HFMA is similar to it too, but we use Fred Pryor a lot because you
Yeah.
can find tons of different webinars or full day sessions or things in there. And some are good, some are so-so. Really kind of depends on the teacher.
Yeah. So if that went by really fast, and those of you who didn't know what she said, it's Fred Pryor Seminars. So 2 names if you're looking for those. That's a great one. Good job. Any others? No? Okay. I love how they were using tech to share their contact information too. That was pretty cool. You could just go like airdrop to each other if you don't want to write it all down. I heard you say some amazing ones. Do you want to share with the group what you said?
Sure. So, time out.
Time out.
Listen to your peers. That's my advice. No. One of my favorite leaders.
We still lost him.
I'm still yelling over them. This is awful.
Okay.
Just stare at
She's going to share.
That's okay. Cy Wakeman. So she is a nursing leader who really focuses on getting your staff out of ego and into self. So she talks about being a leader, it's not your responsibility to manage them and their duties. Your job is to manage the environment and to remove obstacles and to get them out of, being an ego. I'm so mad at them, they didn't do good things, and back into their true self. And what can I do that would look great right now?
Yes. Quick stop for a second. Cy Wakeman is spelled C-Y
Yes.
space Wakeman.
Yep.
Amazing
She's
resource.
phenomenal.
Look up Cy. W-A-K-E-M-A-N.
Yep. She's got a lot of good YouTube videos and resources. Another one I just finished was Mel Robbins, and she has quite a few books out there. Started off with the 5-second challenge. I just completed the Let Them theory, and I'm reading the High Five challenge right now.
Nice.
So,
Mel Robbins, awesome, great resource as well. Somebody else said something down here. I heard you on the end. Becker's, I think you mentioned? Yeah.
Yes, I just actually signed up for it recently. It was Becker's Hospital Review.
Yes.
So a lot of good articles, especially with what's happening right now with the climate, with the healthcare
Yes.
climate.
Becker's has a
So-
CFO newsletter, everyone, that shows up once a day, or a finance newsletter. So if you're not subscribing to that, at least do that.
Yeah, so that one's good. I've learned a lot there. So
Me too.
Good insight.
Awesome. Okay. How about this group back here? What would you like to share? Nothing? We have no professional resources.
Well, we talked about some benefits of having a cohort, right?
cool.
And so actually learning from each other. And if we have been in leadership a while, right, you can even benefit from new perspectives and learning, kind of maybe we're doing things kind of an old-fashioned way, right? And then new leaders can learn from older leaders, right, and kind of talk through their problems. And I think it's helpful to have an outside of your company perspective so that you aren't like gossiping or,
Yeah. Or
do
stuck in
that.
the same things day after day.
And we talked about, sometimes social media algorithms can be very focused instead of having like a broad spectrum, right, of different viewpoints. And so almost having to like seek that out sometimes and read different things.
Be intentional about it. Yes, I love that. Anybody else using AI for all kinds of things? Yes. Oh my gosh. Personal counseling, I'm just saying. So many cool things. Thank you that you can do with that. All right. So hang on, there's more, folks. We are not ready to end this yet. Next, we are going to talk about asking for help. So what I want to share with you is this quote from Dr. Wayne Baker at the University of Michigan. And he says, asking for help is often the one simple act standing between us and success. What? You mean we could ask? So what he posits is that generosity is not the problem. Getting people to ask for what they need is the problem. And does anybody disagree that smart people ask for what they need? Of course we do. Yes, and so I want to talk more about why this is an issue. This comes from Adam Grant's book called Give and Take. Any other Adam Grant fans here? Yes! Adam Grant is an organizational psychologist. He will tell you that his job is to study ways to make work not suck. His words, not mine. I love it. Organizational psychology. What a concept! So he wrote this book called Give and Take. And it talks about how we underestimate others' willingness to give. So one of the reasons we don't ask for help is because we think that that person is going to have a cost to saying yes. I'm not going to call Patrick and ask for help because that's going to take Patrick's time or take something away from him, or he's going to have a cost to that. So it holds me back. Another reason, and get this, people don't believe that there are a lot of givers around them. That makes me so sad. I think that's true, though. I think a lot of us have been kind of brought up to think that. And also, get this, we have social norms against being too giving. My nursing friend here, how many times have you heard nurses eat their young? Or they need to learn the hard way because I learned the hard way, or any other sort of toxic, horrible thing that we've heard in the workplace, right? So we have these social norms against helping people too much. What is too much? That's insane. So what we're going to talk about is how we can change this culture. And I want to do an exercise with you called the reciprocity ring. This is something that you can take back to your groups, your teams, and do. And it's going to blow your mind. We're going to have fun with this. So if you want to build a culture of helping, you need to build a culture of help seeking. So what that means is we're going to practice our skills today. I've got a bunch of sticky notes here. I'm going to toss some to each table. The colors don't mean anything at all. They were just what I happen to have. So everybody take a few, like you can rip these in half. Everybody should have a few sticky notes when we're done here. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to practice asking for help. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh. Oh yeah, I have pens too. If we need pens. Anybody need pen? Okay. I just stole these from the hallway. It's not like they're mine. There you go. Need more pens? 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 Okay. Everybody have a pen and a few stickies? All right. More pens? Ask for help. Yeah, this is your first test. You have to have a pen and you have to have some stickies. So what is she asking of me? Well, let's dive into this. You're going to make one request per sticky. And because we have a few extra minutes here, we're going to do just personal requests first. And what I mean by personal is I'm looking for the best carrot cake recipe from someone's grandma anywhere. Like it could be like that. It could be, what plants should I put in my garden this year? I have partial shade. It could be anything. It could be, I really need to know how to be a better golfer. Somebody give me an online resource or a coach. That's what I mean by personal, okay? You can make this as intimate or as general as you choose. This is not therapy. It's completely up to you. I'm just inviting you to ask for help with a personal request. Here's the key. One request per Post-it. So, looking for an online golf coach. Then what I need you to do is write your name on the Post-it. This is the part everybody always forgets. Remember, it's just like third grade. Put your name on the Post-it, okay? One request. Questions about what I'm asking you to do so far?
Is there a gene that grants these requests?
Hang in there. Hang in there. Okay. So what I'm going to have you do, and this is the active part as well, once you've got a little stack, and you can do more than one request. You could ask for 3, 5, 10 things. I don't care. You're going to bring them all right here. You're going to put them in a pile. This is the part where you have to get up, okay? Other questions? That's a great one. One request per Post-it, and what do you have to put on the Post-it? Thank you. Yes. All right. Take a stab at it. Maybe you want to go on a safari trip to Africa. I don't know. When you've got a 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 ideas, go ahead and bring them on up here. Actually, we've got enough room. Let's just spread them out.
Did you say put your name?
Yes, please, put your name. I love it. I love it. And if you're stuck, here's a few thought starters. Whenever you're ready to get up, go ahead and bring them up here. We're just going to lay them all out on the table. Boom. Just spread them all out. We got lots of space here. Love it. You don't even have to get up. Fantastic. I love it. Awesome. Well done. Good job on the name. Thank you. I love it. Mix them all up. Awesome. It's good to need help. Awesome. Cool. This is great.
You know where downtown is, where the stadium is? So I live less than a mile from that.
Cool.
Like if you want to get
Integrated as I can.
There you go. I love it. Okay. Does anybody need to go get a coffee or water or something from out in the hallway? Feel free. Okay. We got a few people we lost. What? We have snacks too? Now we've lost everybody. Okay. Well, for those of you who are in the room, how did that feel? Hard. Do you want to say why?
I can't think of a thing.
She can't think of a thing. Does that mean she doesn't need help with anything? Somebody else said that was so easy. I had 5 or 6 or 7 things all come up. Any other thoughts about what that was like? Go grab snacks. Yeah. Vulnerable.
Having the ability to just Google or ask ChatGPT anything, anytime, on demand, and get a great answer.
Yes.
Really minimizes our actual train of thought.
Yeah. It's become a little bit of a crutch for some of us, hasn't it?
If I just have a
Yeah.
thought, I just look it up, and I can get some type of answer within seconds.
So true. Is it always right though?
I don't know.
Let me teach you another quick trick about how to tell.
Well, here's something interesting. I had an interview on the phone, and I think they were using ChatGPT to answer my questions.
Yeah. So I have thoughts about that. One is how incredibly resourceful and what a great problem solver. And maybe it kind of depends on the job they're applying for. Like I still want to do skills testing and make sure they can do things, but I don't know. In some ways it kind of levels them up for me, but not always. So what I was going to suggest to answer your question or to figure out, use 2 of them. So I'm a ChatGPT fan, but I'm also a Claude.ai fan. I love Claude too. So here's what I do. Claude, like the first name, CLAUDE.ai. Here's what I do. I will ask one of them a question. I'll put it in the other one and I'll say, what did it miss? Is this right? Is this wrong? What's going on? And then I'll throw it back in the first one. And we'll play ping pong for a while. I treat it like the 2 smartest interns you could possibly ever have, right? And I use them all the time in that capacity. And I learn things, and sometimes it's just plain wrong and I know it, and that's good. Sometimes it's wrong and I don't know it. A third one is called Perplexity. Anybody, you a fan of Perplexity? Yeah, Perplexity is a great one. It's like Google on steroids. It gives you footnotes. It tells you where it found that policy and procedure. So if you say, I need a collections procedure, I'm just sort of throwing things at the wall because we're getting snacks. But yeah, Perplexity, also an amazing one. So what you could do is use your Claude, your ChatGPT, and then throw it into Perplexity to validate whether or not there's data to back up its answers, because I do think it hallucinates sometimes and it gets kind of interesting. But you bring up a really good point, which is how many of these things that people put down on here could you just go to AI and find out? Probably some of them, maybe even most of them. So I'm going to pick one that I just caught my eye that I don't think ChatGPT could answer. I need a summer job for my kid. Who's Ryan?
That's me.
That's Ryan, everyone. Where's your kid?
That's going to be a problem. She's in North Carolina.
She's in North Carolina. Does anybody know anybody in North Carolina?
She's only 8.
Ryan.
She's only 8. That's hilarious. Okay. Let's.
She lives in Nashville.
Nashville, she's 14, looking for a summer job. 14.
Wow.
I thought about that. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yes.
Let's go. Good ideas, guys.
Yes. Anything else? Babysitting?
We're getting one though.
Oh, in Nashville.
We are. I know. Moving on up.
Look at that. So while we didn't have an individual to introduce you to necessarily, we had a bunch of ideas, right? What I wondered is if somebody in the room might be like, I need a blank, blank, blank. And we didn't have that exactly, but you had some great ideas. How about this? Oh, that's another Ryan. I'm going to pick on someone else. Oh, Melissa. Who's Melissa? Okay. Melissa says she wants to know the best place to go fishing around here. Are you talking about like deep sea fishing or freshwater fishing? Or who's our fisher people in the room? Anglers. I guess that's an official word. Anybody? We have no anglers in the room? No? Devil's Lake? There are carp in Devil's Lake, I can tell you that, because I've kayaked it, and I swear I thought it was a shark that was going to tip me over. They're huge! Maybe don't fish those. I don't know. Yeah, fun. Cool. Okay, so we didn't have an exact answer for you, but there's a lot of things you could explore. Okay, let's do another one here. Ooh, this is a good one. Satish? Satesh? Oh, did I say it right? Wrong? Yeesh, thanks for the little thing over the E. It helped me. Okay, Satish is looking for personal experience or preference on the Aura Ring versus the Whoop wristband.
I got you. I've had both. I've got your Aura Ring on right now. Yeah.
What? You have your Aura Ring on right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it tracks all your biometrics. So your sleep, your heartbeat, your HRV, all of it, your values. I like the Whoop a lot if you're an athlete. It's got better metrics, but you have to wear it on your wrist at all times. And you have to, like, I also have a watch. I like to wear, having both of them is weird. And then if you put it on your ankle like I did and go to the gym, like you've got, home arrest. So people think it's weird. I would go with the ring over it. Yeah, my wife just got one too. They're killer. Yeah.
Satish, for being brave and asking such a great question. You just get a little bit of swag, and thank you to you too for the answer. Okay, so we've got about 20 minutes left. Now you know how to play the game. What I'd love for you to do is to switch up the filter in your head and make it business related. Okay? So instead of personal, this time think about, I don't know, I need an Excel coach, or I need whatever it might be, somebody to teach me how to use AI to analyze spreadsheets. Think about that. The questions are basically the same. I'm currently working on blank and could use help with blank, etc. All right. Let's do the work ones over here. Thank you. Oh, nice. You were already thinking about these. Fantastic. Awesome. Awesome. These are great. Thanks. You don't have to get up either. Good stuff. I like that.
Oh, I didn't put my name on it.
You broke the first rule. Come on.
I was so happy I had one.
I need names. You're jumping into phase 3. I love it.
I had one that I wanted.
Oh, yours was work. Oh, I see.
It's kind of, but.
Yeah.
So it's like, I got this like, okay, it's probably where. Oh, you did? The difference between my here and here is like so. Exactly, so I used to wear it there, sold it, I'm like.
Oh, Vizio, nice. Good stuff.
I did too, man. How do you like yours? Yeah. Have you done them before too? It's usually like, there's a light blue pad. Yeah, I don't like it either.
I don't really care, I just.
Nice.
I had it for about 2 months. I do think the metrics are better, especially if you're not going to work out.
I can relate to that one. Keep them coming if you have more to add. Nice. Awesome. Oh, awesome. I could do that. Oh, yeah. All right, so quick debrief on this one. Was it harder or easier to ask for personal or work? Let me just say this. Was it harder or easier to ask for work help? It was easier. How come? Do you know?
Probably because I don't like to ask for things for myself.
Ah, because work, it's like for somebody else. You're thinking about the bigger picture or your employer or whatever.
Or my team.
Your team, you're asking on behalf of someone else. That's really insightful. Other thoughts? Harder or easier to ask for work help?
Easier.
Easier. Why do you think that is?
Day to day, more specifics, where hands-on.
Yeah.
Thinking of, oh, I just worked on this, maybe I can find a resource for that.
Exactly. And we're more in the habit of it, aren't we? When we think about ourselves, it's harder to think about maybe my needs matter or my wants matter or the fact that I, would love to go fishing somehow really counts. Yeah. This is really fascinating. So I'm going to pull a couple of these as well. There's a couple of questions here about Excel. So help building a pivot table in Excel and need a guide or teacher to help with VLOOKUP in Excel. Who are my Excel gurus in the room? Yeah. Okay, so I'd love for you to meet Patrick over here and Melissa. And who are my folks over here? So let's talk about your Excel experience. How long have you been doing Excel?
Every day forever.
Every day forever? I love it. Okay. Get her phone number. Or at least text her. And you too?
19 years. I wouldn't call myself a guru, but I know how to do VLOOKUP and pivot tables. So.
Fantastic. I hear you. I have a third resource for you because humans are amazing, but also sometimes we just want to watch a quick video. Maybe you could put this into your notes section of your little networking worksheet. There's a guy called Nate Moore. He has a company called Moore Solutions, Moore. He has a website with hundreds of very short Excel training videos, and they're all healthcare based. How cool is that? Yeah, Nate, N-A-T-E, Moore, M-O-O-R-E, Moore Solutions. YouTube, yes. Well, there are, which is kind of why I like Nate, because it's all, I know it's been vetted, and I know it's healthcare focused, and I know it's like the stuff we care about. So, but you're right, there's an incredible library of free stuff out there. Nate's free. I used to tell people, have a lunch date with Nate. Like, just sit there and eat your sandwich and watch your 3-minute, 5-minute video and learn something amazing. Hundreds of videos, starting from the very basics of Excel all the way up to stuff I don't even understand. So another resource there. Okay. Let's talk for a second, too, about some of the people side. Who's Amelia? Okay. Amelia says she would like advice connecting with a direct report that doesn't want to. I should have that microphone somewhere. Okay. You want to tell us more about that, Amelia? What's this person doing?
Now I feel like it's personal to new people that weren't on my team before that may want additional growth but hesitant to connect and open up with me and maybe listen to input as well. Still.
Who's a great coach? Who's built a team they're really proud of? Worked with this situation before? Do you two know each other yet?
No, she's my Excel buddy, so yeah.
Amazing. Do you see how cool this is? That just by asking, what's that?
Stephen Covey. Let me write the speed of press.
Yes, Stephen Covey, another great resource. Yes. Okay, let's dive into, we got a couple more minutes here. This is a good one too. Is this Anne, I think? Preparing for a reorg, how to work with unhappy team members? Yes. Do you want to tell us about that? Where'd that microphone go?
So probably the beginning of the fiscal year, we're reorging the patient financial services department under revenue cycle. Before it was just billing, customer service, everyone was separate. And so now we're all going to be under one umbrella. I'm getting a whole new team. And I'm also, a couple of my people are going to other managers. And I've already heard people say, I will never work for anyone but you. And then I'm sure people who are coming to my team don't want to work for me. So just dealing with unhappy employees who don't like change and are scared of change.
Yeah. A lot of people get into medical billing because it's really predictable. I'm just saying because I've been there. I've run the business office. I know how it goes, right? We like to know what charge entry looks like, and we like to understand all these things. And when someone changes things, it gets really scary for us. Anybody else been through this? Yeah. Other thoughts? Resources for her? She's like, I'm all alone in the world. No one will help me. Call me. I can help you. Go ahead. Yeah. Gone through it is great advice. Honestly, like, here's where I went through it. Here's what I learned. Here's what I would do, what I wouldn't do again. Do you two know each other yet?
Emily.
Awesome. What about you?
A book on that is Managing Transitions. To me, that's like the 101 of coaching.
Excellent. Yes.
The change curve and how to get people managing transitions.
Another one for your list, everybody. Managing transitions. It's not a sexy title, did you say? Yeah. Not exactly. Okay. I'm going to pick at least one more here. Oh, yeah, this was a good one, too, about... where is it? Okay, this one's pretty practical. Brianna, I could use help finding someone to talk to at Regent since we don't have a provider rep anymore. I just want to have a moment of silence for the loss of provider reps at Blue Cross Blue Shield because I cry about it. It makes me very sad.
Yes, so
I
if
have
anybody
one-
has an in there, please.
I have a person.
Okay.
I have a person because we do contract renegotiations for small groups, and occasionally I will reach out to that person. I don't use it very often, but when I have to, I will. So let me send you.
I can save it for emergency.
Yes, because you know what they're going to say. Have you gone through the 800 number? Have you got its number? Have you got a ticket? All that stuff. Yes. I'll send you my person because we don't want to take advantage of them, but we do occasionally need a person. So that's a struggle. All right. So we're going to move on just because I think this, we're ready to sort of recap. So we did all that activity. Did you learn what networking is and what it's not? Yeah, I couldn't get you back in the room. You guys are having so much fun doing this, so that's exciting. You were doing actual networking. Can you describe for me one of the benefits of building a professional network?
To fill your cup.
Fill your cup. Resources. People who can help you with your sticky notes. What else? Outside perspective. Yes, we were talking about that too. Sometimes we get stuck in our silos. Well, that's because that's how we do it here. Yes. Anything else? New friends. Did you find 3 or 4 more people to reach out to? Yes. You each ended up with 6 in your cohort. That worked out really well. And we talked about specific sources for professional development and growth, and we went over quite a few of them. So there's a lot of neat stuff happening. In conclusion, I'm going to invite each of you to get up and look at the sticky notes. Business ones, personal ones. See if you can find someone's request that you can grant, speaking of fairy godmothers, or however she worded that exactly, and maybe you can make another new connection in closing for this, okay? All right. Thank you, everyone. This was super fun. I enjoyed playing with you all. And here's how to connect with me.